Are you ready to see somebody's need for speed? I can put our wings in the wind faster than you can ever believe. Are you ready to run? Fun that don't ever stop. We are on a crash course and freedom is running on as long as we want.
All right, we're back at the shop. We're getting ready for roadkill nights. Well, take that back. We're actually getting ready for a little street race in Ohio, and then Uncaged, and then roadkill nights. But what we've really been struggling with lately, and since it kind of started before I changed the combination on the truck, before we put the new turbos and all this stuff in, maybe the last race or two before then, started noticing the truck picking up wheel speed. Like, it was tougher to get the thing to hook, or it would grab a little wheel speed down low, and then it would grab wheel speed maybe at the 330 and past some, and it never ever does that. So I really wasn't, it was just a little at that time. Started just a little bit of wheel speed, not a whole lot. And then, that's like probably been a month and a half ago, and every race it's gotten a little bit worse. And then we put our new stuff on here, and it started getting a lot worse, and it's been kicking my butt the last two races, and I finally got it there. But the whole setup was so much different. I had to take so much power out of it that isn't normal for it, how it acted ever before. And then we go to Dig or Die last week, and same deal. This thing does not want to hook. It's grabbing wheel speed off the button. It's grabbing wheel speed up at top, and it just flat never does that. And it had me like really just frazzled on what is causing the problem. So I remembered when I was putting the rear end not that long ago, a couple weeks ago or whatnot, that the leaf springs looked a little bit different than I thought they should look. So instead of a leaf spring having, here, look at this one. See how it has this nice little curve here. Look, smiley face. Instead of that, it kind of looked like this, frowny face. So I called the guys at Calvert Racing to ask them about it, because I figured that was not good. And if I hadn't already started on this one side, I could actually show a picture of this and how it looked. But I already got one side done before I decided, dumbass, do a video. So instead of the leaf spring coming nice like this, it would kind of like flatten out and lay over. And we've seen that on the stock springs when we first brought the truck back from California, when we had just like the stock spring set with some taken out and we lowered it. We really noticed how the leaf spring was folded over the diff actually, or over the axle almost. It was kind of like folded over it, and it really struggled to hook. Then after we took the lowering blocks out, and the spring kind of got to its right shape, and then we put the split monos on, everything was real happy. There wasn't a problem. So it just made me start thinking that's maybe the issue I've been fighting, and why this thing hasn't been working well is because I don't have any spring rate to keep basically the chassis separated and to keep it doing its thing going down the track especially. So called Calvert, talked to them about it. They said, yeah, if those things are like, if they're frowny face like that, it's definitely their shot. And with the split monos, you can change just the back half of the spring if you want. That actually carries the load, is the back half of the spring. Unfortunately, they're out of stock for a couple weeks, and I can't wait. So I bought another set, and then the set I take off, I'll probably set them up, redo the back half of them so that they'll be ready in case we run into this, hopefully, way down the road. I mean, this set's lasted 400, 500 passes in a couple years, so, I can't complain about that at all. They've been great. These split monos are made for racing. They're not made for carrying weight, as they kind of told me. And they said, for example, if you're trailing 300 pounds around, it might really wear these things out. And I kind of told him we were a little bit higher than 300 pounds, just a little bit most of the time. So he was definitely like, yeah, it's going to be hard on him. And so I got a new set in. I'm starting to put them on. I have this side already done. We're going to kind of take you through doing the other side. It's really not hard at all, especially just swapping split monos for split monos. if you're a like multi-leaf guy going to a split mono or something, sometimes there's some bushing stuff you might have to do, or it might be a little tougher. Like in an F body, it can be really tough because the front spring pocket is actually like a bracket that sits up in there, and the bolts or nuts break off a lot of times, the speed clips, and then it's a real party getting them out. But on S10, it's super easy. It doesn't take that long, and I'll show you how we do it. All right, so I was curious on, like with the new spring and the old spring sitting here, what the height difference was in them. And like you can see a physical difference just it sitting here. So, you know, obviously it doesn't have the same arc it used to because it's worn out. And then, so went and got a straight edge, which like this, bam, bam. And we are almost a ½ inch difference between the two. So the worn out spring literally sits a ½ inch lower than the new spring does. So I don't know like if that 100% translates into a ½ inch of ride height or not. I did measure the ride height on the truck before I took it all apart, and I was like 27 inches to the fender well from the ground. So after we get this other one in and get the wheels back on, we'll measure ride height again and just see if it got any better or any worse. It's going to get better, but let's see if it gets a ½ inch better, or it gets an inch better, or it gets ¼ inch better. Who knows? We'll find out. Okay, we'll drop down cow track, that bracket, like so. Let her hang right there for now. So that's free. Now we can start undoing. We'll undo the front. That'll let this swing out. We got the rear end supported by the old tranny jack there. Well, my leaf spring, my jack pad is just in the right spot. That ain't going to swing down by itself. So we'll do the rear. Hopefully drop it down and slide her out. It's pretty tight. Okay, that got it out of there. Nothing to see here, folks. Now, while we're at this point, what we're going to do is uncam this up. Okay, so now to get the cow track out of there, there's this bushing here. The way the slider is, this little roller, I got the one off the other side. It's nothing more than just a little ball bearing guy. He seems pretty happy, other than we got to clean off some rubber from him. But that allows the leaf spring to just roll back and forth, nice and easy, and with no stiffness at all, other than running over a lot of rubber. So pull that the rest of the way out. First, we gotta knock our pin out of here. So I've set up a very nice pin knocking out station over here, also known as Dylan's Arbor Press. He left it over here, and I have not taken it over there to him yet, like I probably should have. So let's not tell him I still have it, so I can borrow a little bit longer, because it really comes in handy. Not even using it for a press, it's more of just a hammer station. That could be dangerous. Oh man. The other one, of course, was not on camera and went very, very easy. There she goes. Whoops. Yeah. Okay, so need that bolt right there. I forgot that crucial part of it. There we go. Bam. So that other spring was so flat and worn out that this is where the rear end was sitting. Now with the rear end sitting here, this spring has so much more arch that we're way lower now. I don't know if they'll even, yeah, there we go. So this, I think this looks a solid inch higher than it was. Let's see, it was, this side was actually 26 3/4, the other side was 27. Let's see. Damn, we're like 28, 27 3/4. 1 inch higher. Let's see what the other side looks like. It should be 28. No. It's 27 3/4, even better. It's perfect now. Just must have been that one was a little more worn out. So 1 inch of rear ride height just because the springs were just so laid out. Now, let me see if I can get on. I'm gonna get under there real quick and look and see if they look like happy face springs or not. I just use my finger as an illustrator. So see how this is the leaf spring looking very nice right there, and looking like it's at least U-ing up some. So before, the back end right here was probably down at least 1 inch or 2, and what happened there is in the spring would, you know, imagine if you move that point down to here, that spring was like, it was laid over and not happy at all. So now the springs are way happy, and I think this piece of shit's gonna hook.
We're down the road from the shop getting our stacker delivery because the toter home and the stacker will not make the turns to leave Muncie. So Alex pulled the stacker with the Dodge, and we got to swap to that. Then he's got to go back, drive the scooter to get here. We're like a mile away, and then we'll be able to leave town.
It's not as easy as it looks, you know. We just show up to the race with the stacker hooked up and the toter, and there's a lot of work that goes into this stuff. Living out in the country, we got a guy that's supposed to be widening the intersection on the other side of the country here that will actually be able to pull out of the house with the toter and the trailer and just get on the road. But unfortunately for now, Alex has to drive the truck back, and I think Zach already explained it. So he's got his scooter with him, and yeah, we're just gonna unhook the truck, hook the toter up, and then we can get on the road. That's really all it is. Should I just go?
Jump, you're out. Cross, you're out. First is worst. Flagger will have the last call on everything. Tanner is flagging. You will have the last call on everything. Parker is doing the jump cam. We have that. We have 2 finish line guys, 1 on each side. You'll see there's a line painted across the road with red, white, and blue.
We'll start behind the rubber?
Huh?
Yeah. Starting behind the rubber?
50 feet behind the rubber.
Still a huge advantage for the right lane. Adam's got a thing for that Camaro.
Driver got a chip.
Sorry, I'm ignoring the people. Adam just has a thing for the
It's not good, boys. It's not good.
Camaro. So Alex is driving Catfish Billy tonight, and Adam drew Alex in Catfish Billy. So Billy has beat up on Adam a couple of times, but mostly when Adam like skyrockets intakes and blows up motors. So I don't know. It could be interesting.
Definitely gonna try not to do that. I need you to beat me, if anything, without me blowing it up. If we can do that.
Alex is already talking shit, saying he's going to whoop up on Adam, so we'll see. We're going to put the hot tune-up in it. Ride a wheelie all the way there.
2 left.
Alan Robinson is in the left. Here's our twos. Phil Hines
Mustang.
in the left. Got the sevens. Adam Hodson in the right. Eric Slowman's in the left.
We are headed to second round. We got a pretty badass looking Camaro that we're racing against. Dude says he's foot braking it, so that's kind of interesting. But I saw his first round pass. It looked really smooth, pretty good. So we've turned it up. We kind of got some data that first round, but it wasn't really the data we were looking for. I kind of screwed some things up on the tune, so it didn't 60 foot like we thought it would. Hopefully we corrected that this time. We got a lot of power in it, so hopefully it'll take it. We got the left lane, which definitely isn't the good lane, but I think there's been enough passes on it now. It should be able to take this. We'll find out. I'll give you an update here in like 10 minutes. We got to be up there at 9:45. It's 9:39, so we're getting ready to get it here.